Hello, this is Paul. I am the webmaster for the BC Mountaineering Club, and I put together this tutorial to help trip organizers have a better understanding of the tools that are available to them once their trip has been published to the BCMC trip schedule. So this follows my last tutorial where I set up a trip. So I'm already signed in to my test account, my test number 2 account, and I'm going to go down the list and find the trip that I created, which is this one right here. And people that have joined the trip will see this in the list. In this case, the trip has a maximum of 4. One person is registered. That is the trip organizer. That's the default. The number of people on the waiting list is 0, which is to be expected since the trip sign up has been delayed. So let's go into the trip, and we can see where we left off last time. And what I'm going to do now is I am going to edit the trip details. And I am going to look through. I'm going to decide that I'm not going to change anything, but I could if I wanted to. But I'm going to set this to no, so I will allow guests to join the trip, and I'm going to set this to 3 people. And that includes the trip organizer, and I believe I will leave this at screening so that I can show you some of the effects of having the screening option set to yes. I will leave the dates at the 15th of next month, but I will change the open for registration to today, so that the registration is open immediately and I can join some people to this trip, and we can take a look at what happens to the participant list. So I will save that, and that will bring me back to the trip description if everything is okay, and it was. So at this point let's go back and take a look at how it's listed, and we should see that the trip, which is here, which I've joined, it no longer has this sign up delayed. So I want to join some people to this trip. So let's open this trip up again, and so far just the trip organizer is on the trip list, and I will open up a couple of other browser windows. This is Tester 3. Tester 3 looks at this, and at this point in time does not see it. I will have to refresh the page. So I refresh the page, and the button for joining the trip is available. Now this button for reusing trip details, that's available to this particular person, this test account, because they are also a trip organizer, and if they so choose, they could reuse these details for a similar trip that they wanted to do. It could possibly be on the same day, it could be on the following day, it could be at any point in time, next month, next year, but it gives them the opportunity to borrow, I guess, the work that that the original person put into stating all the specification for the trips, and that way they get the various trip organizers to share each other's information, and it makes it a little easier for creating trips. So let's join this person to the trip, and you can see that these are the details that they see right now. We get some feedback saying that they have been added, but because it is screening, they've been added to the request list. There are questions, so now it comes up and it asks me these questions, so I will just put in my answer, and I will submit, and that information will go to both the trip organizer and the person that's answering the question. So we get a confirmation that that process has worked. It will then take me back, and I will see that this person, Tester 3, has been placed on the request list. let's add one more person. So that was tester 3. Let's do my tester 4 account. So tester 4 comes in, again, does not see the button because I opened up this browser page before I made it available. This person is not a trip organizer, so all they see is the join button, but they can at this stage see the who's on the trip at this point, and they can join the trip. They get a confirmation that they've been added to the request list. And looking at my email in a different window, I can see that I'm getting emails for all these. I'm going to put in more answers. Excuse my typing, and I will submit that. This person gets a confirmation that the answers they're being processed and sent to the trip organizer. And now we see that tester 4 is also on the list. So let's go back to the trip organizers page, and this is the trip organizer, and I will refresh the page. And now the trip organizer sees the 2 people that have joined. Notice that the trip organizer sees more information. Notice in comparison, tester 4 sees the join date and the participant name, whereas the trip organizer also sees the status. They see the number of trips that person has been involved in. They get a link to their website profile, and they have the opportunity for these actions, which I will discuss in a few minutes. The status. This particular row or column, will give an indication of whether the person is a BCMC member or whether their waiver has been signed. It also displays how many trips they've been on, because these are test accounts. They haven't been on a lot of trips. I see that tester 3 has been on a couple of trips. Let's add somebody. Let's say that you know somebody who wants to join, and you as trip organizer have decided to add them manually. So this button here will allow you to add a participant manually. So I happen to know that their nickname is tester1, and I am going to submit that. If I didn't know their nickname, then I would, and they were not a BCMC member, so they're not a full member, they're not an honorary, they're not a guest member, they don't have an account. What you would do then is they're a non-member, so you would fill in their first name and all this other information, and have the option of putting in this name here, which I believe will be done automatically. So it might just be a matter of just clicking on it. But we're not going to do that. So let's go back and let's put in, I know the nickname is tester1. We'll submit that. And we see it has been successful, so we're not going to add another. Let's go back to the list. And now we see that tester1 is listed here as confirmed, because it's assumed that if you're adding them manually, that you're also going to confirm them. We see here that they are a BCMC member, but they do not have a waiver. So you need to contact them and ask them to fill out the waiver online and accept it, or to look at the waiver document and either print it out and sign it and have it witnessed and bring it to you, or they could, if they don't have access to a printer and a computer, then what you will need to do is you will need to bring a document, a waiver document that they can look at and agree to and sign and date and have it witnessed. So that's what it looks like when they don't have a waiver. It could be a case that the waiver is old, it could be incomplete, there could be a lot of reasons why this would be displayed. So if they do say, they used to have a waiver, it could be just that it's either outdated, or it's and in some cases I've heard that where they just don't get signed properly back in the days when we collected paper. So I see I'm running out of time. I think I'm going to have to come back with a second tutorial that will talk about these buttons, and I think I will also be talking about these options as well. So again, if you have any feedback, please send it to me. Thank you.